What's up, everybody? Welcome into A to Z Sports Picks. Brad and I are going to have a great show for you this Friday. Get you ready for the betting weekend. Brian, it's good to see you as always, buddy. We had football last night, man. What'd you think of the game?
Yeah, we did. I watched just a little bit of the first quarter. I wanted to see Najee get a couple of touches, and I thought he looked pretty good. And we've talked about it this summer. I'm a little worried about their O-line, but I don't know that we get a good read on preseason games. But I do think if their O-line is decent, that Najee will have a huge year and that Pittsburgh will be in the mix in the AFC North, which it seems like people have written them off on that. But anyhow, so, I mean, I just love their pickup of Najee Harris. I think he'll be great for them for many, many, many years. And otherwise, happy Friday. Hope it's going good, man.
Yeah, it's going great, man. I was a little upset, man. Tomlin said that he was going to have Josh Dobbs play the entire second half last night. Gave him like half the fourth quarter. And I was like, dude, come on, man. Give my man some run here. But no, it was nice to have football on. Like, again, there wasn't a whole lot to take away from that game. But, just having it on the TV, watching it, and even, when you stepped away to do whatever, in the house, like just hearing a game called, it felt nice, man. But, yeah, we're going to break down a whole lot of football here. Everybody, welcome into A to Z Sports Picks. I'm Alan Bell, CBS Sportsline, alongside Brian Edwards of VegasInsider.com. A to Z Sports Picks is brought to you every Tuesday and Friday by BetMGM, the king of sportsbooks. Make sure everyone download that app. Do it. Use promo code A to Z 100, and you get a risk-free bet of up to $600. I've done it, used it. It's fantastic. Those credits come in your account ASAP. It works, man. I'm telling you. That's BetMGM, the king of sportsbooks. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. Must be 21 years or older. Must be present in the state of Tennessee. For a gambling problem support, call the Tennessee Red Line at 800-889-9789. So, Brian, we're going to jump. This is going to be a heavy, heavy football show because I'm ready for it. Last night got me fired up. And you know what? The A to Z sports team has come across something that nobody else has. You ready for this? The props for week 1 for the Tennessee Titans against the Arizona Cardinals. Understand that these numbers can fluctuate by the time that we get to week 1, but this is your look at what, if they were playing Sunday, this is what the numbers would be. Nobody else has it. A to Z Sports has nailed it once again, and we're going to go through it and pick our favorites. So let me get these on the board here so everybody can see, and we want you to play along as well. Put it in the chat what your picks are, and let me get these up so you can see it. And I'll read through it here really quickly. So first off, all right, points. Okay, Cardinals over under 21.5, Titans 24.5. Yards, Ryan Tannehill 219.5. Derrick Henry 100.5, AJ Brown 70.5, Julio Jones 65.5, and then for touchdowns, Ryan Tannehill over under 2.5, Derrick Henry 1.5, AJ Brown 0.5, Julio Jones 0.5. So Brian, I'll kick it to you first. Tell us which ones you like, man.
I'm going to go Titans over 24.5 in terms of the points. Do you want me to go through all three of mine and then shift it to
let them rip.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so, the yards, this is kind of a tough one because it all depends on the score of the game. And I could see the Titans coming out and getting a lead early and then therefore, not being as bullish on Tannehill's over. I mean, I do think that's a sort of a low number, but if it ends up being a type of game where Henry's just getting the rock 35 times, then I would think, Henry's over is going to be the best call. Whereas if Arizona got an early lead, I would think that Tannehill's over. So really, I think AJ Brown and Derrick Henry are the overs are the best options. I would like Tannehill if we knew Arizona was going to fall or get in front and Titans be playing from a deficit, but I don't think that will be the case. So I will go with Derrick Henry, a slight lean to him over AJ Brown, although I think they both will probably hit. And then as for touchdowns, I will go AJ Brown over 1/2 to catch one touchdown. So that's Titans over 24.5, Derrick Henry over 100.5 rushing yards, and AJ Brown to catch at least one touchdown pass.
I like it. I like it. Now, I'll say this. I pretty much agree with you on a lot of it. First off, in terms of points, I like the Cardinals over 21.5, and I like the Titans over 24.5. I think you're probably looking at a 28-24, 27-24 type of game. So I like both of those. In terms of yards, Ryan Tannehill over 219.5. I'm with you. I think that number is a little low. I'm going to go over there. Derrick Henry over 100 yards. I'm going to play the under just because it's week one. I can see them trying to, one, get some touches and some passes out to Darrington Evans, over to Brian Hill. I can also see the Cardinals doing everything that they can to just try to limit Derrick Henry. But with that, that's why I like A.J. Brown over 70.5 yards. Julio, I think he's probably right there. I'm not going to bet it. If I did, I would pick the under, but I bet it's somewhat pretty close. As for touchdowns, I think you're looking at 3 to 4 touchdowns for the Titans, probably 3 and a couple field goals. So I'm going to go under 2.5 on Ryan Tannehill. I'm going to go under 1.5 on Derrick Henry. And I probably think that Tannehill probably has 2, Derrick Henry has 1, and then you get a couple field goals mixed in. So under 2.5 for Tannehill, under 1.5 for Henry. I'm going to go under on A.J. Brown because I like A.J. Brown's yardage, but I think that they try to work Julio Jones in the red zone. So I could possibly see him getting a touchdown. I would play it for fun, the prop over, half of a touchdown for Julio Jones. So that's a really fun look. Kind of gives you, an idea of what to expect for week one. In terms of the Cardinals at the Titans, I think it's going to be a pretty good game. Again, I see both teams probably 27-24, somewhere around that one. So you're looking at roughly 3 touchdowns per team, maybe 4-3, something around there. So, yeah, and everybody make sure to put in the chat your picks on all of these because we definitely want to see what you have as well. Now, moving on.
Hold on. Now. I messed up, man. So I should have been addressing each of them. My fault. So the unders I would like are under was 0.5 touchdowns for Julio. We talked the other day about how he has not had many touchdowns the last couple of years, which partly was Sark's play calling in the red zone, but that's a story for another day that I won't get into. And I agree with you. I think the Cardinals go over 21.5 as well. I know that doesn't address all of them, but there's just a couple other thoughts as I kind of messed that up. My bad.
No, you're good, man. No, that's how we play the game. It's like betting. You don't have to take everything, right? Sure. Find the ones, that you want. And seriously, everybody tuning in, put them in the chat, put them on Twitter, wherever, of the picks that you have as well. Our friend Lewis, always in the chat, always in the show. He says, hi. Hello, our friend. Thank you so much for tuning in, and thank you, everybody, for tuning in as well. Now, really quickly, moving on, we're going to get back to football here in just a second, but I do want to take a look at Major League Baseball today and get some bets in on some games that we have. So I've got 3 that I like. Now, understand, they're all 3 money line, so I'm going to parlay these. I like the A's at home against the Rangers. I like the Blue Jays at home against the Red Sox, and I like the Braves at home against the Washington Nationals. So I'm going to roll with those 3. But again, you're looking at some kind of high prices, so I'm going to play a parlay of those 3. If anybody, tails along on the 3, or you choose 2, however you go about it, it's a Friday night across Major League Baseball, but I like these 3 teams at home. So let me know what you're playing. Let me know what you're picking, because I'd love to see it. Now, moving back to football here. I want to get right back into it. What we want to do is play a game really quick. Now, we did this last week, with the SEC, finding our perfect parlay for week 1. All right? I want to do the same thing in the NFL. Now, I'm not going to read you every single line, every single total that's on here, but you can see them on the bottom. But what the game that I want to play, and again, everybody that's tuning in, put it in the chat what yours are as well, because again, the show is about all of us. But Brian, this is the game we're going to play. Find me a parlay, NFL Week 1. You go first. What do you got?
Yeah, I'm going to go with I'm tempted to take 3 of them. I think I will do. I'll do a 3-team money line parlay. I'll start with the Bucks in the Thursday night game to win outright over the Cowgirls. And I will, that was on purpose, by the way. And then I will go Next, I will go with my Falcons on the money line against the Eagles. So we've got Bucks, Falcons, and then the third one, it's going to be the Titans that I'm not going to do money line. I'm going to do -3, and I'm going to send it back over to you to do yours. And when we come back to me, I will have it through the parlay calculator to what that would net us profit wise. My bad, I kind of changed my mind on how I was going to do it. So Titans -3, Falcons money line, and Bucks money line. And I will have what those prices are in the parlay calculator in just a moment.
I like it. All right. I'll tell you what, I'm going massive. All right. I'm going a 6-leg parlay, which I never, ever, ever do. But I want you to hear me out on this. Okay. It pays out plus 1,070. All right.
Yes.
Here we go. First one, Falcons -3.5 against the Eagles at home. I'm going to roll with the spread on this one. I feel good. Ravens -4.5 against the Raiders on Monday night. There's nobody that I trust more than the Baltimore Ravens, at least in the regular season, and I am all over this one. I think that they win by probably 9, 10, or 11. Then, Bills money line at home against the Steelers. Bucks money line against the Cowboys. 49ers money line at the Lions. Chiefs money line against the Browns at home. So let me read through that again. Falcons -3.5, Ravens -4.5, Bills money line, Bucks money line, 49ers money line, Chiefs money line. I know it's a 6-leg parlay, and in week 1, all kinds of craziness can happen. Buddy, that's plus 1070 right there. All right. Now, feel free to play around with this. If anybody is going to, again, tail it, ride it, whatever. If you don't, if you want to take one of those spreads out, I certainly get it. But I like where I'm at with this. I really like these money line plays. And then if we can get, the 2 spreads to hit, I feel great with it. So anybody in the chat, anybody watching, put in what your parlays would be. I want to see them. I want to hear them because this is all about us together beating the books. So, Brian, I'm going to throw it back to you. You read it through the calculator. What do you got?
Yeah, so Tampa Bay's money line price against the Cowgirls is -280. The Falcons money line price against the Eagles is -190. And I'm just going to do the Titans -3, so that's a -110 price. So that 3-team parlay will net plus 295 and 45 cents. So if you risk 100, you win 295.45. Not nearly as generous as Allen's. Oh, Rick doesn't like Richter scale. Does not. Is he talking to me or you? Because you had the Falcons in yours as well, right?
Well, so let me say this. All right. So first off, it's our man, Big Rick Merritt. I love him to death. He is fantastic. Yeah, you lost me at the Falcons money line. Here we are.
To disagree with us. I mean, the Falcons do have a suspect defense. They're my squad. The defense is going to be bottom 5 in the league, I would think.
Yeah. Well, let me say this. I think and he could correct it in here. I think he's talking more about rolling with the spread than the money line. Right now, it could be he thinks that the Falcons lose.
Oh, he's wanting to just lay the points and get better odds. Gotcha.
Yeah, like I do not. I don't believe in the Eagles whatsoever. Yeah. All right. So he says Falcons are a no bet for 2021 period. You know what? I feel you on that. I'm going to roll with them. I trust them a whole hell of a lot more than I do Philadelphia, especially in week 1, especially where every single day Jalen Hurts is waking up to, hey, we might trade for Deshaun today. We might trade for Deshaun today.
Yeah,
like they're not doing him any favors whatsoever. No. Yeah.
And Devontae's hurt for a couple of weeks, and that's a big blow.
Exactly. Well, they've gone through massive changes in everything that they've done. So, yeah, I mean, I know that the Falcons have a new head coach, but I got to trust this new head coach. I like Arthur Smith. So, again, yeah, I'm going to roll with that one. Again, and Brian, give yours one more time so everybody can hear it. Yep.
Yeah, so Tampa Bay money line, Atlanta money line, and Titans -3. So it's a plus 295 return. But I want to hear what Richter Scale thinks about this because he said no bet Atlanta, period. What about my Kyle Pitts to win Rookie of the Year honors, Rick? Chime in on the comments. If you're shooting that one down, that's fine. But I want to hear your pick for Rookie of the Year.
Rick's a great. Yeah, no.
We're not getting on him. I love that he listens to the show. I'm just like debating. Let's talk about okay.
So yeah, he says Falcons are
see him.
blackballed in my space. No, and that's funny. Like everybody has teams like that to where it's just, you know what, every time that you end up betting them, nothing good happens whatsoever. I totally understand that for sure. Now I'll run through mine really quickly. Again, pays out plus 1070, Falcons minus 3.5, Ravens minus 4.5, Bills money line, Bucks money line, 49ers money line, Chiefs money line. Now, moving on from the NFL, our final segment of the day. We want to take a look at things that we can bet on today, this weekend, etc. So we talked about Major League Baseball a minute ago. Brian, we've got UFC 265 tomorrow night, correct? Saturday night. Yeah. Break the card down for us. Who's our headline fight, on the main card, and where are our best bets at?
Okay, so we are at the Toyota Center in Houston, Texas tomorrow night, and Derek the Black Beast Lewis, who even casual fans are probably familiar with to some extent. He's tied for the most career knockouts in UFC history with Matt Brown. He's got 12 career knockouts, and he is a big underdog to Cyril Gane, who is an undefeated French kickboxer who's 9-0 in MMA, 6-0 since joining the UFC. Now, they're fighting for the interim heavyweight title. Francis Ngannou was not going to be ready to fight by August, and it just kind of miffed Dana White, and so he's like, whatever, and he set up this fight. Now, there was another title fight on this card with Amanda Nunes, but she tested positive for COVID, so she had to drop out 2 weeks ago. So Derek Lewis is a plus 280 underdog, so I'm going with 1 unit on him, risk 100 to win 280. I'm also going to go 1 unit on him, the prop to win by KO at plus 400, which is obviously, a little bit more than $1 of value. And here's my thoughts on that is the Black Beast only has 1 career win by submission, and Gane's got this guy out. He's got the best power on the whole roster. And so Black Beast is not going to win a decision or by submission. So you go with the prop to win by KO because it's got better odds. Now, the only reason I mix in the straight bet at plus 290 is just in the rare case that there's some sort of like disqualification for a knee to the groin or a knee to a downed opponent in the head or just something, of that nature. That's why, if that happened, you would lose your KO prop, but you would still win the straight bet, and it's bet plus 290 odds, so you would still profit pretty nicely. Okay, co-main event, Jose Aldo, the former 145-pound featherweight champ who has dropped down to 135 here in the last 2 years. He's actually only 1-2 at bantamweight, but I thought he beat Marlon Moraes. Dana White thought he beat Marlon Moraes in his 135 debut. And not only did he think he beat him, he gave him a title shot, even though he had lost a split decision. And I thought Aldo looked great in the title shot. He gave Petr Yan the best fight he's had through 3 rounds, but then Yan took over in the 4th. But since then, Aldo bounced back with a nice win. He's facing Pedro Munoz, and Munoz is 1-2 in his last 3 fights. And it's the first time Aldo has fought someone who's younger than him, albeit by only 2 days. But he is fighting someone younger than him for the first time since the Jeremy Stevens fight in 2018 when Aldo won by first round KO. So Aldo is only a minus 120 favorite. That's my big bet for the night. Several units on that. Now, also on the main card in a welterweight bout, 5th ranked Michael Chiesa, who's 4-0 since moving up to 170 from lightweight, is taking on Vicente Luque, Brazilian, and I like Luque. It's a pick'em, minus 110 or minus 115. Either way, Luque, since December of 2015, he is 13-2 with 12 finishes. His only 2 losses are to Leon Edwards by decision. Edwards is ranked either number 1 or number 2 in the welterweight division, and the other decision loss was to Wonder Boy, who's one of the best welterweights of all time. Just real briefly, I'll give you a couple of just baby small plays. I'm going to go with a 23-year-old Japanese star, Song Yadong. He is a minus 110 pick'em fight. I like him just a little bit. And then I like under 1.5 on Alonzo Minifield versus Ed Short Fuse Herman. And that's a minus 115 price. So quickly in review, Derek Lewis, 1 unit at plus 290 as an underdog, 1 unit on the prop to win by KO for a plus 400 return. Aldo, my biggest bet, minus 120 in the co-main event. Then let's get a little bit of Vicente Luque at around minus 110 or minus 115. And then a baby play on Song Yadong. We got a lot of tightly lined. I feel like I'm repeating the odds. He's also minus 110, maybe minus 115. And then under 1.5 on the light heavyweight scrap between Ed Short Fuse Herman and Alonzo Minifield. Minifield, 5 of his 6 UFC fights have ended in round 1. They both pack a lot of power, and I think somebody's going night-night before the end of the first round.
Buddy, you just packed a lot of power in that breakdown, man. That was nice.
Appreciate it.
Card. Yeah, I'm excited for it. And again, our man Rick says, Lewis in front of his hometown crowd. Absolutely, man. Like, I think that I'm with you that I think it's going to be a massive one. Dude, so that's phenomenal. You broke down that card very nicely. Also, I have to give props for anyone who has the nickname Short Fuse because I love everything about that. There's so many different ways like that you take that in terms of somebody just getting pissed off. Yeah, immediately. Like, great, I love it, man. UFC nicknames, dude. Like, I love them. UFC and boxing, they're fantastic. So that's all the time that we have for today. Everybody, we really do appreciate you tuning in. Thank you so much. And again, drop in what your picks are on the Titans player props for week 1, what your picks are for UFC 265 on Saturday night, as well as your NFL week 1 parlays. So, go Braves. Absolutely. Goodman feels it. I'm totally with it there. Mally says Falcons week 1 in the preseason against the Titans. All right. They're a 1-point underdog, actually, the Titans next week. So, yeah, thank you guys so much. We really do appreciate it. Continue to let us know what your picks are there. And, let's make some money this weekend, buddy.
Have a good weekend, everybody.
All right. See ya.